the tipping down of the camera, it started actually as putting lock points in the platforms where you could actually like lock on to the middle of the platform and initiate the jump, and it would kind of auto jump you to the platform as like a helper, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like basically you could, with your visor, you'd see the places to be able to jump, lock on, initiate the jump, and then it would sort of autopilot you to that platform. That was the first iteration of it. It didn't feel great, obviously, but it definitely, I think, led to the right solution, which was essentially just that subtle camera tipping at the apex of the jump.
The basic design of the game is you have area, hallway, area, right? And so you have a big area, you go in the hallway, and as you're going down the hallway, we're throwing away that area. And then as you get near the other end, we load the other one. And so there are triggers we place along the hallways. And a big trick of that is knowing where to put the loading areas. So how far down the hallway should we start loading the other one, right? And so there was a lot of tweaking to try and get all that working and try to get the load times acceptable. So I spent so much time on just doors, and we came up with you shoot it in the blue, like force field goes away to let you know, acknowledgement that the door is going to open. But of course, we have to wait for the GameCube to actually load the area behind it and then do that. And so there was just doors, and then we had horizontal doors in Metroid 1, so we had those, and we had to figure out how to make those work, and trying to help the designers realize, if you have a big room, put a longer hallway in front of it, because if they morph down a straight hallway, they're going to get there long before the area is loaded. I remember, like, the red flash you get when you damage something, like a block or a boss or everything, that's a very specific color of red I worked with the design team to get the design language consistent through the game, right? Like, this is the color something flashes when it is damaged. And so everything in the game has that same red hue when damaged. We came up with the 2D view for the Morphball puzzles, right? You morph and you roll in, and then the camera switches to the 2D side view, and you bomb your bombs and stuff. And we were trying to figure out how do we do the camera to follow the ball, and he came up with what he calls a surface camera. So we have a surface outside there, and the camera slides along the surface and has a set of springs that follows the ball, so it does it smoothly. And so you can define the surface area of the camera so you can control the view.
We built prototype rooms before we would hand it off to Art. We called them blue rooms, right? So we would map it in a blue grid and get all the gameplay nailed down, and then hand it to Art. And then Art would go in and beautify it over the top and make sure all the gameplay still functioned. And then we would go and tweak it one last time to take advantage of like the color and the lighting and stuff like that in ways that you couldn't when you were doing the blue room and prototyping. So what that meant is early on, we were relatively slow in production in final content, but the last probably 6 months of production was laying in about 75 to 80% of the game.
I went back to the idea of having a language for the pirates. And there was a programmer at Retro Studios. His name was Akintunde. He was from, I want to say Nigeria. He'll kill me if I get it wrong, but he was originally from Nigeria, and he spoke Yoruba, which is the language there. It's very exotic sounding language. And so I put him in the booth and had him yell out, we took these phrases in Yoruba and sort of reversed them and played around with the syllables until we came up with this sort of pseudo language for the pirates. And that ended up becoming the basis, the final version for the pirates that everyone liked and pretty much lives on to this day.